All right, so you're planning a bathroom remodel. You're probably already dreaming about all the fun stuff, right? The new tiles, those sleek faucets, maybe a beautiful new vanity. But what if I told you the most crucial part of your entire project is something you can't even see? Let's dive in. And this is exactly where so many homeowners run into major problems. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? I mean, you just measure the room, pick out all the pretty finishes, and boom, you get a price. But that assumption, oh man, it can lead to some seriously expensive, super frustrating surprises down the road. Okay, so that brings us to our first big idea, what I like to call the simple, quote, myth. We're going to completely take apart this notion that a quick 5-minute look is enough to accurately price out what is honestly one of the most complex rooms in your entire house. Think about it like this. Your bathroom remodel is basically an iceberg. All that stuff you see and get excited about, the tile, the vanity, the cool fixtures, that's just the tip. That's maybe 10% of the whole story. The real work, the real potential for costs and problems, that's all in the 90% hiding under the surface. So you ready? Let's talk about that hidden 90%. We are going to go, figuratively, right under the floorboards and behind the walls. We need to really understand the complex web of systems that makes a bathroom so tricky, and why getting a deep, thorough inspection isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential. See, a bathroom isn't just four walls. It's this crazy intersection point. You've got your plumbing, both supply and drainage, you've got electrical circuits, you've got the structural framing of the house, and it's all crammed into this tiny, high-moisture space. If just one of those systems is off, the whole project can go sideways. So skipping that deep dive inspection, man, that is a huge gamble. You're not just risking a few little surprises. We're talking about the potential for massive, unexpected costs, projects dragging on forever, and the really nasty stuff like hidden leaks or mold that you might not even discover until years after the contractor is long gone. So how do you avoid all that chaos? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward with a professional, systematic inspection. So let's break down the exact 6-point checklist that, frankly, separates the real pros from the amateurs. First things first, you gotta start from the ground up, literally. The number one thing a pro is gonna look at is the condition of your subfloor. Think about it. Bathrooms are wet environments. Over years and years, even the tiniest little leaks that you'd never even notice can cause serious rot and damage to the very foundation of the room. You know that spongy feeling when you walk near the toilet, or maybe you see tiles that are cracked for no reason? Those aren't just little cosmetic flaws. No way. They are massive red flags. They're screaming that the structure underneath, the very thing holding up all that heavy tile and stone, might be failing. This is a huge deal, especially in older homes. Okay, next up, we've got to look behind the walls. Now, obviously, you can't see in there yet, but an expert is already thinking about it. They're wondering, are the studs spaced properly? Is there solid wood, what we call blocking, right where that heavy glass shower door or a safety grab bar needs to go? Getting this framing right from the get-go is absolutely critical for a stable, secure installation that's going to last. All right, number 3 is a big one, the plumbing. A remodel is the absolute best, and I mean by far the cheapest time to deal with old plumbing. Do you have old galvanized pipes that could be secretly rusting from the inside out? What about that ancient shower valve that scalds you one second and freezes you the next? Trust me, upgrading this stuff now while the walls are open is 1,000 times cheaper and easier than ripping open a brand new tiled wall to fix a burst pipe a year from now. Then, of course, there's the electrical system. A lot of older homes, their bathrooms just weren't built for how we live today. They can't handle things like heated floors, fancy lighted mirrors, or powerful vent fans. An inspection makes sure your wiring can not only handle all the cool new features you want, but more importantly, that it's up to modern safety code. We're talking about things like GFCI outlets, the ones with a little test and reset buttons, which are an absolute must-have near any water source. Okay, number 5 is so important, but it gets overlooked all the time, ventilation. If your exhaust fan is too weak, or, and this is a big one, if it just dumps all that steamy, moist air into your attic instead of piping it all the way outside, that is a recipe for disaster. We're talking mold, peeling paint, even rotting the wood structure of your house. Good ventilation isn't a luxury. It's what protects your entire investment. And last but definitely not least on our checklist, modern waterproofing. See, back in the day, a lot of showers were built with just water-resistant drywall, sometimes called green board. We know now that's just not good enough. Today, a proper professional job requires a complete, sealed, seamless waterproofing system that goes on before the tile. It creates a barrier that protects the inside of your walls. This is absolutely non-negotiable for a shower that's built to last. So when you think about that whole 6-point checklist, it starts to make a lot more sense why a pro can't just walk in and give you a price in 5 minutes, right? Let's talk about that directly. I mean, it's a totally fair question. You're excited, you're ready to go, you just want to know the number. So why the heck does a good contractor seem to take so long to get you a final price? And here's the simple, honest-to-goodness truth. It's because bathrooms are full of hidden variables. A contractor simply cannot know the full scope of the job until they have a solid idea of what's going on with the structure, the plumbing, and the wiring that's hidden from view. Any price they give you before that, it's not a quote, it's just a guess. So you really have to change how you think about the inspection process. It's not some kind of delay tactic to frustrate you. It's a problem prevention tool. It's about finding and solving problems on paper during the planning phase before they become huge, expensive surprises that require a jackhammer and a wide-open checkbook to fix. And that really brings us to the biggest takeaway here. Try not to think of a thorough inspection as just another cost on the bill. Think of it as the single most important investment you can make in the health, value, and durability of your home. This quote from our source really says it all perfectly. A proper inspection is not about finding ways to increase project cost, it is about protecting the homeowner's investment. A real pro isn't on a treasure hunt for problems so they can charge you more. They're on a mission to find potential points of failure so they can protect you and your home from them. And this is the reward. This is what you get for all that upfront planning. Plumbing that you can rely on for years. Electrical systems that are safe and up to code. A room that can actually manage moisture properly. Finishes that stay beautiful because they're on a stable foundation. You don't just get a bathroom that looks great for the photo shoot, you get one that works perfectly and is structurally sound for decades. So I want to leave you with one final question. A question you should ask yourself and every single contractor you talk to. Are they just planning a renovation, which is really just putting pretty new finishes on top of potentially old problems? Or are they planning a true remodel, rebuilding the space from the bones out so that it's built to last? The answer, and the difference between the two, always starts with the inspection.